Hello everyone, and welcome to another Let's Play. This is Quest for Glory 4, and I am Anna Mardal. When we last left off, we were in the inn, obviously, and I was extremely excited because Bella, who serves us our meals, did not immediately go back into the kitchen as she has been. She stays out here and we can talk to her. And she's smoking on a pipe, which I just love so much. So we can talk to Bella for the first time. So let's ask her about herself.
I am fine, but I do worry about you at times. Please, take care of yourself. I know that heroes need to do dangerous things, but try not to get into too much trouble.
I feel like we skipped a step.
Oh, Bella, leave the poor man alone.
I just want to make sure you'll be all right. Don't hawk me.
Let's try something first.
You get a smile in response. Tell about some of the things you have done in Moldavia.
Perhaps we do need a hero around here.
Well, I thought that we would get to introduce ourselves, but apparently we're just going to dive right in.
Well, you have probably met nearly all the men in town. Most of their wives work very hard this time of year. Yeah, they're canning vegetables, making new clothes, schlepping blankets, providing for the winter. Well, this may be the time for men to relax from the harvest. But for the women, it's one of the busiest times of the year. My mother used to go to the garden or the staff whenever she was unhappy. She said that the staff always made her feel safe and warm. I have always felt such feelings there as well, I might add. My grandmother used to say that the staff was from the mage Irana, that it was Irana's final gift to Moldavia when she died. I only know that you should visit there at night sometime. Perhaps you will have a pleasant dream there.
So we actually did have a dream at the staff. It started out pleasant and turned into a nightmare. But I like this because it's a good way of telling us to go do that when you might otherwise not think to do that. You've got the inn nearby. Why would you necessarily sleep outside? I mean, if you were a thief and you were already outside, or if you got back to town late, then I guess it would make sense. But still, it's a good reminder to the player. So we can ask her about Irana.
My grandmother used to tell stories about Irana. How she was part fairy folk and unearthly beautiful, and she brought kindness and magic wherever she went.
Wives' tales.
They were true. Somewhere in the forest lies Irana's garden. My grandmother used to visit there sometimes before the woods got too dangerous to travel in. My grandmother told me how very beautiful the garden was and how it filled her with happiness. Oy, how I wish I could visit there sometime.
No, Bella. It is too dangerous outside the town walls.
I know, Yuri. Still, someday I will go there. You'll see.
Oh, I like her. She's brave. So we can ask her about dreams.
Even my husband has dreams sometimes. I keep trying to tell him to believe in his dreams, that they are trying to tell him something, but he wouldn't listen.
And we can ask about Domovoy.
I used to see the domovoi. When I was a child, I'd sneak down from my bedroom in the middle of the night and look for him. He was always hiding somewhere downstairs, and he would laugh. When I found him, he would be hysterical, the domovoi. Now that I'm an adult, I don't see him. But I do know he's still around.
Oh. Okay, so that was all our conversation options. Staff, dreams, Domovoy, Bella, town. I feel like maybe at night. I remember her coming out and saying something about being willing to talk to us now that we'd saved Igor, and that her husband doesn't like her talking to strangers, but we're a good person. But that didn't happen, so maybe in the evening. I'm not totally sure. But as it is, it feels like we've kind of skipped a step because she's just already talking about being worried about us. The innkeeper has new options. Innkeeper, Domovoy, Rizalka, and vampires.
Oh, I had a dream last night about my lost daughter, Tanya. I awoke suddenly and had difficulty getting back to sleep. Other than that, I am well.
Poor man.
2 years ago, Tanya was stolen from her bedroom one night. There was no sign of what happened to her. There were rumors that the gypsies had stolen Tanya away, but when I went to their camp, I found no sign of her. Then the gravedigger mentioned that several times he saw a huge monster near her window at night. That is all I know of the matter. We both miss our daughter very deeply.
That's so sad. What about the Domovoy?
There are supposed to be domovoi in most houses in Mordavia. They bring good luck as long as you don't try to harm them. The domovoi are creatures of legends, although I have never seen one.
Rizalka.
In the folk tales of this region, we have always spoken of those beautiful maidens who seek to drown whomever comes near. I do not know if the Rizalki are real or not, but they make a good story,
And vampires.
We do not like to speak of such things in Mordavia. It is considered bad luck. There have been always rumors of vampires around here, though.
Okay. Well, we're going to say goodbye.
Get a fair...
And the Domovoy said not to show the doll to the innkeeper and his wife, so we're not going to do that. I don't know what would happen, but I don't want to distress them. It is early morning, which is a shame, because I'd very much like it to be later in the evening. But what we can do is we can make the rounds and get our daily healing pills and poison cure pills and mana fruit.
It is not often that
He has nothing new to say to us. And at this point, I really
Good
wouldn't
luck
want to
with your-
hear it anyway. I find him very creepy as a character. Not good creepy. Not even close to good creepy. So we're going to sneak. Hello, Hawk. You didn't get me that time, did ya? The sneak animation looks so silly. A-da-da-da-da. And a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Like we're about to go on a chorus line or something. Do do do. There we are. Ivana's garden. We're gonna fetch a magic fruit.
Your magical lasso floats towards the tree and plucks a single ripe fruit from its branches.
Bonsai tree looks like it's doing alright. I still don't know if we can ever get it fruiting. I think not. So we're gonna go up back to the camp and get our daily fortune told, which will also help pass the time. Forgot how big the forest feels. I don't think it's bigger than the Spielberg forest, but there's more, everything's more spread out in terms of corners to visit. Heya!
Welcome, welcome. It is good of you to visit our camp once again. May you find here all that you seek.
Let's greet Davy.
Gypsy Davy.
Come now, what can I do for you? What is it you seek here?
Can you not call him Davy? There's not any other Davies in the game.
You tell about your adventures in Spielberg.
So, you turned Baba Yaga into a frog? How funny!
And is there anything new to talk about with him? Oh, great. Again, we can't just call him Davy? Is that not an option?
Is it not great to feel the music in your blood and dance the night away? The life of a gypsy is sometimes very sweet. I have been fine. Hunting has been poor lately, but yesterday we pulled down a large deer. It was good to taste fresh meat again. Bah! Legends and tales to scare children with. You will not see me flinching if you cross my palm with silver. We have been in this camp for nearly 5 years. This is very hard on wanderers like us. If you wish to know about her, why don't you visit her yourself? She will be happy to speak with you. She was most impressed.
Okay, well, let's go visit her then. Don't mind me. I'm not gonna break out of the sneak. We'll be going right back into the forest.
I have had many dreams about you, but last night I dreamed of a child. Her back was turned from me at first, but she was calling softly for her mama. Then she turned around, and her eyes glowed like fire. She spoke again and called your name. That was all I saw and heard.
Well, that's an interesting dream.
You will always be welcome here.
Let's tell her about our dreams.
You tell her about the frightening dream.
Dreams are messages. Such a message may be obscure or meaningful, depending upon the sender and the dreamer. The meaning of this dream may be clearer when you have had more of them.
More scary dreams, yay!
You tell about Rakesh and your adventures in Tana.
You fought a demon? Oh, then perhaps you can drive off the dark. But no, we must not even think of such things. It is far too dangerous to speak of it.
How do you do it if you can't think about it? I have found a fatal flaw.
You tell about your meeting with Katrina.
I have no knowledge of such a person. Much is strange about your story. I would not entirely trust this Katrina if I were you.
I do like that we can consult with her about what's going on, what's been happening. You could do that a little bit in Quest for Glory 3 with Rakesh and Krisha, but it was a little hit or miss, and I never really felt like I didn't often feel like you learned things that you needed to know or didn't already know. Here we've learned that she doesn't know who Katrina is. Which is interesting because they did have some dealings with the people of the castle, but then now that I say that, they said they really only dealt with the gatekeeper. So still have no idea who Katrina is. Let's ask Magda how she's doing.
I have been well, thank you.
Has she had any new visions?
If I have any more visions about you, I will let you know. So you should visit here again, just in case. I mean, you never know when the knowledge of my vision may be useful. Right, dear?
True. Let's ask about Arana.
The magician Irana's death is shrouded in mystery. I do not know her true fate, but I only know that her staff protects the town, and her garden protects anyone in need of safety. The staff of Irana has a great deal of magic. It protects the town from the undead. Although, between you and me, the townspeople do not know it. But I had a vision of it one night. I heard it speak in the dream. It told me how it protected the town and of its destiny spell. When the staff spoke no more, I saw a most beautiful crystal floating in the air. The staff touched it, and the crystal shattered. Oh, that was all I saw.
We've seen that crystal. We had a dream about it. So what is this destiny spell?
In my vision, the staff said that it would guard the town until it cast its destiny spell. That one day, someone would bring a dead loved one before the staff. That person would trade his life force through the staff. The dead would rise, alive and well, though the one who gave his life for the dead would never know. That would be a true sacrifice, done with foreknowledge and with much love. The staff still stands in the town, so I do not think anyone has been willing to make such a sacrifice.
That's pretty intense magic. Let's ask about her garden.
Irana's garden is to the south and a little west of here. It is a very good place to rest and heal. There used to be a small bush whose fruit was sweet and filling and always available, but someone dug it up and took it. Why anyone would do such a thing, I do not know. There is a tree whose fruit will restore magic to those who use it, but only a magical spell can get the fruit.
Okay, and then last but not least, we'll ask about her tarot cards.
The tarot cards are a tradition with gypsies. Their history is tied with our own. Always the gypsies have told fortunes, and always have the cards guided our sight. Each card of the tarot has many meanings. A true reader of cards knows which meanings best suit a particular reading. When I tell a fortune with the cards for someone, I tell them only the meaning of the cards. It is up to that someone to figure out how they affect their future.
Okay, so does Davy have anything new to say?
We have to hunt farther and farther from camp each night. There are many creatures which hunt, but few things to eat. The other night, I was hunting in the hills near the castle. I looked up at the walls and saw a man standing on the edge of the parapets. He was dressed very strangely and wore an odd hat on his head. Suddenly, he raised his arms. He shape-shifted into the form of a bat and flew off. I have a feeling you once knew this man.
I wonder if that's the foreigner that the gatekeeper spoke of, because I think he said that the foreigner had an odd hat. So that's twice we've heard about this odd-hatted foreigner. He better have a hecka odd hat. They're making him out to like be the jester in the inn with like a what are those jester hats called? I guess they're called jester hats. The hat's getting hyped is what I'm saying. So let's have our fortune told.
Again, we ask the cards to reveal what was, what is, and what might be. Aha! The mystery woman will now be revealed. Let us see that which was her distant past.
Oh no. Okay. Guess what, everyone? There's a bug in this game. So I don't know if you remember, but on our first reading, we were the middle card, the magician, and there was a person in our distance past, which was a selfish woman who seemed powerful but kind of isn't. There was in our more recent past a bound man who struggles with some kind of bondage and it wishes us ill will. There was an influencing factor who was a wonderful, loving woman who gives freely of herself, and she was represented by the Queen of Cups. And then there was a woman in the more recent present or upcoming future who was a woman who had suffered a great many hardships, and she was represented by the Queen of Swords. So, Queen of Swords, woman of hardship. Queen of Cups, loving woman. This is the Queen of Cups. There's a problem. There's one reading for the Queen of Cups, who was over here, and there's one reading for the Queen of Swords, who was up here, and both of the readings accidentally used the Queen of Cups signifier because they screwed up and made a mistake and nobody caught it. I'm pretty sure that this reading is for the Queen of Swords, the woman of hardship, but I won't know until we get further into it. So ignore the fact that this says Queen of Cups because it's either the influence who was on the right or the future who was on the top, and just ignore what it says. Eight of Swords. That sounds swordy.
In her past, she has been dominated and defeated. Her significator card reinforces this impression of tragedy, of some cruel event that shaped her life. Let us learn more.
Okay, so this is the Eight of Swords woman, or Queen of Swords woman, the woman who had suffered adversity and was bearing her suffering nobly and proudly, but she had suffered. So not Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords. Just ignore this card. Ignore it. It does not exist. It's not there. That looks like strength.
Strength. It is a card of courage and defiance. That which bound her in the past could not break her. She gained her freedom, not through luck, but through her own actions. This is a woman with great inner qualities. The tragedy of her past has molded her present, but she alone has shaped her life through fortitude and determination. Reveal now that which is in the more recent past.
The Magician. That's us.
the sign of the Magus, the master of magic and self. She has great power and self-confidence.
Or possibly it's just the magician this time.
This can also imply self-deception and illusion as well. Be wary. Now, let us learn what else the cards will reveal of this woman.
So I mentioned this in the last reading when the magician showed up twice, which would not be possible if you were just using one deck, because there's only one magician card in a tarot deck. If she's using 2 copies of her deck, then you could have 2 copies of the magician card. So this is not supposed to be us. This is supposed to be her and her relationship with magic. But they forgot, again, that they made the magician be the signifier card for the player if the player is playing as a magic user. Another great example of Sierra utterly failing to beta test properly through the different possible paths. I can almost promise that they just did Paladin and then kind of loosely did Magic User and Thief, if it's anything like what we found out in Quest for Glory 3. And for that matter, Quest for Glory 2, where they failed to notice that if you imported a character, it always came in as a fighter. It's like, why? That's the easiest bug in the world to find. But the best way to fix this, honestly, would have been to not use the magician as the signifier card for the magic user. Use, I don't know, the King of Staffs or something. I mean, pick something and just say, oh yeah, that's totally you, a magic user. But they reached for the magician and completely forgot that they had used it in several readings because it's a pretty major card. So anyway, rant over, sorry. The Devil inverted, more bondage.
An inverted death.
Oh, death.
This signifies
That's
stagnation.
not death, that's the devil.
She has not grown beyond the past. Rather, she is trapped by immobility. She is changeless, and her gains have been balanced by her losses. So, what can we now learn of the present?
I'll believe that about an inverted death, but that sure looked like the devil card. I'd have to rewind to be sure, but I thought it looked like the devil card. But yes, she's not changing. She's trapped by stagnation. She hasn't learned from the past. She's stuck. 10 of clubs.
Ah, this card shows that she is working towards some goal, some desire that has yet to be fulfilled. But it can also show power used for selfish purposes, some result she desires heedless of the cost to others. Again, please turn the card to reveal more.
10 of cups, I think.
Aha, this is the card of love. Her present is influenced by affection for another. It seems that our mystery woman is falling in love with someone. This is not what she was striving for. It is something in addition to her current goals. Now you shall reveal the future as she would have it.
The world.
The world! Ah, it is the summation of all desires and goals. It can represent the reward of all one's actions, or the admiration of others. This can be the symbol of eternal life. It can mean attainment of ultimate power and perfection. Ah, now will the cards reveal more of her desires?
The 7 of cups.
Now this is truly the card of illusionary goals. That which she seeks to gain is only a delusion. What she desires and what she will gain through her actions are very different things. She cannot see that she is seeking an illusion, and should she attain her goal, she will ultimately lose. Now, let us see the card which rules over all.
So to recap, for our center card, we have the Queen of Swords. Ignore that looks like the Queen of Cups. It's not the Queen of Cups, it's the Queen of Swords. A woman who has experienced adversity. Her past is tragic, but she fought to overcome. She's shaped by her past, but she's retained control of her life and situation. She's magical and driven, but she's also hit a point of stagnation where she's not capable of growth or creativity. She's seeking some pretty big goals, but in addition to those goals, she's falling in love, which is not what she planned for. Her goal is the world, which can represent something big and amazing, but her goal is illusory. She thinks she's seeking something big and amazing, but if she actually were successful, it would destroy her. She's not operating with all the facts, or she's, self-deluding herself, lying to herself, unclear. Now we get an overarching influence.
The Dark One plays a part in her present and future as well. Somehow her goals are linked to it. Everyone in this accursed land is affected by this Dark One. Oh, that we had never set foot here. The reading is over. No more shall be said about this. The cards have spoken, and so have I.
Okay, now we shall leave.
You say goodbye.
I wish you well upon your travels, sire.
I don't know what that means. And yes, that's a very terrible bug to have two totally different characters represented by two totally different cards, and then whoopsie, they both show up as signifiers, or one of them shows up twice as signifiers for both readings. Very confusing the first couple of times I played until I figured that out. And I don't know how they could have missed that again. It would have been so simple. Did they not beta test at all? Was there some kind of rule against beta testing the game?
Hello.
Hello, Lishi. We can't talk to you yet. We haven't talked to Baba Yaga. I'm just saying. Uh-oh. Oh, fudge, it's a wyvern. Oh, sure. Leahy's not here. Leshy's not here. The scary music stopped. Maybe we got away from it? That's a really good cat meow. I guess I could have gone up to the cemetery, or the graveyard. That probably would have. The map I'm using says graveyard, and I tend to say cemetery. So, before we go and make it night again, let's go check on Boris and make sure he's doing all right.
Welcome again. It is so good to speak with you as always. The woods around here seem almost frightening at times. When you arrive, I know it is only my imagination that makes me nervous.
I have so many feelings about Boris. I know I've yelled at him in the past about Olga and him, and I stand by my yelling, but I actually am very fond of him, and I don't want him to get hurt. And it's like, now he's traveling back and forth between the castle and the town to go see his wife, and I'm happy for them, but at the same time I'm like, oh my god, please be careful and don't get eaten.
Good day and welcome back. I am certain you will have many such adventures in Moldavia.
So let's talk about his wife.
You know, it is nice to be able to snuggle with my Olga again on these cold nights. Thank you for getting us back together.
You kids, you're welcome.
The castle is very quiet during the daytime, but I have heard noises and seen lights in the windows at night. The people of the town...
Okay, we've already talked to him about all these things. Okay, good. Take care, Boris. Don't get yourself killed.
Farewell.
And he doesn't go back to see her until his shift ends and it's nighttime. So that means he's walking around at night, which everyone has told us is the literal most dangerous thing you can do. It just worries me. I'm glad they're back together, but I don't want him to get hurt. Okay, what time is it? It's getting close to... So, like I said, everything you want to do, for the most part, is at night. But, okay, nicely enough, they speed the days up so that just walking to the camp and back to do your daily reading will take up most of your time. So, you know, they did pretty good. I think they could have given you more to do during the day, but... And you can say, oh, hello, hi, look at him. That's such a good... you can say, why didn't we...
You hear movement on the other side of the door.
You can say, why didn't we explore more at night earlier then, Anna? And the answer is, if you do much of that, you actually will die, because the aura spell that you get from the... from Magda is very important. It prevents wraiths and other undead from draining you, which is important.
You straight.
Let's go get her dinner, which I'm sure will have garlic in it.
You get a fine meal of roast lamb.
Good evening, Flick.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, okay?
Greetings and salutations.
Welcome.
So, man, like I said, I feel like we missed a trick with Bella, because I really did think she introduced herself and said something about, my husband doesn't like me to talk to strangers, but you saved Igor, and suddenly I've gone all Scottish in Anna's terrible accent version. Sorry. Wow, that was just really bad. I was trying to match her accent, and it just went all wrong. But I thought she said something about that, and she's not. So, I don't know. We must have done something wrong. But they have things to talk about. Let's ask about the Dark One Cave.
Cave? What am I, a tour guide? What cave?
Well, you must mean my apartment. We know of no cave in Mordavia.
He probably means the cave of the Dark One.
Oh, yeah. That cave.
Very scary, you know. We didn't know you meant that cave.
We, generally don't care to talk about it.
It's, somewhat on the cursed side, know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It's bad luck. Very bad.
It was made by the cult when they performed their unspeakable rites there, and a few unspeakable wrongs from what we hear.
That's why it's kinda ixnay on the Ave K. You follow?
Townspeople.
Well, now that the harvesting season's over, I can relax a skosh.
Oh yeah. Now that the garlic is gathered and the cloves are put into the ground for next year, I can sit, enjoy myself, and be stinky.
Now that the elephants are all gone, I have nothing better to do than sit here and help the others drink. I regard it as kind of a public service.
Rusalka.
A Rusalka is the undead spirit of a drowned maiden, okay?
Yeah, she tries to lure others to a watery death. What a body!
That's the downside. The upside is she doesn't wear any clothes.
So obviously there is some attraction, but there was a rumor for a while that there was a Rusalka in Mordavia's lake.
Yeah, no one who tried to check this rumor out ever returned.
Rusalka's supposed to be very beautiful, you know. And the ones that went to find out were all guys.
What a pity.
What a shame!
Yeah, but what a way to go.
Vampires? Oh, great. Chamber of Commerce is gonna have a fit. Look, just 'cause Mordavia is noted for vampires, it doesn't mean that there are any here.
Yeah, just because we string garlic everywhere doesn't mean we're worried about vampires. It just means we're stinky.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You're overreacting here. Just because no one dares to go out at night or even thinks about visiting Castle Borgov doesn't mean we believe in vampires here.
Look, we know doodly squat about the people of the castle, all right?
Oh, he's right. I mean, we have no reason to suspect that they're vampires.
Other than the fact that no one has seen them in the daytime and huge black bats circle the castle at night. No reason at all.
So, probably vampires.
Look, Cool Breeze, I tried to tell you before, we do not gossip here.
Yeah, unless we really want to.
And if there's any backstabbing going on around here, pal, we're gonna do it face to face.
All right.
It is very dangerous in Mordavia at night. If you wish to return...
So, first and foremost, let's stop sneaking around. Let's head outside. And hey, maybe if we stand right here,
After some rest,
we'll see Katrina
after
come to town. She's not here. Well, it is what it is. Actually, let's, just for giggles, let's go to the castle. Wow, the
the
forest
ground
looks
bears a
different.
rich carpet of fallen leaves.
Was that stuff there? It almost looks different at night. The trees... Whoa, shit.
The heavy gate blocks access to the castle road. Fortunately, it also blocks the path of the two slavering necrotors on the other side. They look hungry to see you.
Grand.
There is nothing you need in the tower.
Well, yeah, so he wasn't wrong about those. Okay, let's... Well, first and foremost, let's cast our aura spell.
You cast the aura spell.
And we get a nice little indicator up there that our aura spell is active, which is nice. I don't think we had that with the reversal back in the old games, but...
You cast the protection spell.
There's the protection one. And... Okay, those trees are definitely new. They come out at night. And this is reversal.
You cast the reversals.
A couple more spell options up there, but I'm not sure what goes in between those.
You feel a chill go through you as you enter this part of the forest, as if a cold wind suddenly sprang up from nowhere.
So, Davy said if you ever find a pile of rocks at night that weren't there during the day, that's a Wraith's mound.
You sense no magic.
Pretty sure I should be sensing magic. Oh, god damn it. There we go. I think it's a speed bug that's causing them to be able to get their spells off so much faster than me. Then again, maybe I just suck at casting.
The Wraith vanishes into nothingness, and the air slowly begins to regain some warmth.
Good.
Your aura has evaporated. The barrow contains treasure that the Wraith collected while it was alive, or perhaps more recently from treasure seekers less fortunate than you. You find a dagger, 38 gold crowns, 75 kopecks, and a few old bones.
Nice! That's a lot of money. I don't know that we necessarily need the bones, but it's a lot of money. I think it's also enough adventure for one night. So let's head back to the town. And we'll see if we can get any town dreams in the inn. If we can't, we will sleep at the staff and get more dreams there.
You
We're going to maximize our dream time here. Plus, I think it would be good to not stay out all night, which could scare the villagers a bit. I'm fine.
You want?
Bye. Alright, give us a dream. Give us a good dream. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. No. Damn it. I actually think that we have missed the window for one of the pre-recorded dreams. And if that is the case, I will read you the text dump and I will do the voices as best I can.
You have returned to this wonderful place between worlds. You are again filled with the joy of being truly alive. You find yourself dancing at the heart of the cosmos. You spin and the universe swirls with you and around you. Suddenly, something calls out to you. You feel a coldness rapidly devouring you. You falter in fear as you remember what happened the last time you were here. The voice calls again, and you feel trapped, helpless. The closer you get to that voice, the greater the fear. It is a voice of pain, a voice of death. You flee in terror.
Another bad nightmare.
You gradually wake, shaking off the shreds of dreams that cling to your memory.
Whew. Night terrors suck.
good day again.
Does Dimitri have anything new to say? Nope. Nice to see you, Dimitri. And hello?
It's sausage and peppers fried with garlic.
Anything new from Bella? Nope. Anything new from Yvonne? No. So off we go into the wild blue yonder. I do not think we are going to have enough time to go get another prophecy, fortune telling, however you want to call it, for the day, because we are at the 50-minute mark and it takes more than 10 minutes to do a reading. So we will collect our healing and poison cure pills.
It is not...
Oh, what is talk about Samaria?
You tell Dr. Cranium that you would like to visit Silmaria someday, but fear you are trapped forever in Moldavia.
Ha ha ha! Silmaria, a lovely place by the sea. You must be sure to visit the Academy of Science there when you visit. I am sure you will have the opportunity someday. You're here. Here.
Okay.
Your reverse...
Of
I do like... I've been talking about how the themes of this game involve isolation and loss, and I would even say the severing of relationships, like how the innkeeper and his wife have lost their daughter. And the hero comes in and actually acts as a restorative force where he heals these severed and broken connections and these isolated people. When we first came to town, Dimitri was so hair trigger angry that he was ready to march us out to the swamp and toss us in if it would get rid of us. Not quite that much, but it turns out
Your magic...
that he was actually just very... He's lonely, he's sad, he's overworked. He's warmed up to us because we saved someone's life and proved that we actually are here intending to do good things and not another threat that he has to protect the village against. I meant to check these lanterns, by the way.
You discover 30 crowns hidden there. You accept it as a gift from Irana.
There is almost nothing in this game to spend money on.
It doesn't.
But, and they said you're magical too. Does trigger do anything? It lights it. Look at that.
Beautiful music streams forth from the illuminated lantern.
That's gorgeous. This is a beautiful place. So Dimitri just needed somebody to actually be kind and good and heroic and restore his faith a little bit in adventurers. And we'll learn more about why that is in the Paladin run through. Then you have the Domovoi is hoping that we'll find Tanya and bring her back and heal that severed connection. The Magda and Davy in the camp are hoping to be reconnected to the outside world, so that they can leave, because they're trapped here. And in fact, in a bigger sense, the whole valley has been cut off, forcibly separated from the outside world and been made isolated. And it's the hero's job to fix that severed connection and make them not be isolated anymore. And that theme will crop up with more stuff in the future, and I will talk to that, I'm sure, but I don't want to talk about it now because it's spoilers. But I really like that because I think that really is a hero's job. And a lot of this game has been kind of a dialogue with what is heroism and what is a hero. Can you be a thief and a hero at the same time? Can you be a hero and do you have to be a hero a certain way? And so this whole series has been a conversation around and regarding what constitutes heroism. We saw a little bit of that in Quest for Glory 3, where we had Rakesh the Paladin, and you tend to think of paladins as people who are lawful and reflexively follow all laws. And yet in the heart of Tarna, a place where everyone reflexively follows the laws, Rakesh felt like the best way to be a paladin was sometimes to break the law whenever the law was wrong and inhumane. Whenever the law said things like, let this guy starve to death because he stole a couple of coins. Rakesh's lawful nature, and you cannot argue Rakesh is not lawful, he's very lawful, but he's beholden to a higher concept of lawfulness than the law itself, which is kind of a little meta there. Yes, I'm lawful, I just don't follow these laws. I follow my own laws. but that's how he viewed paladining, and I think it made instinctive sense that yes, it is wrong to let a man starve to death because of a couple of coins, even if it's the law to do so. So this whole series has been a conversation around what constitutes heroism, and I still think of 4 as the last in the series because I haven't played 5, and I'm not sure I want to, because some of the things I've heard about it have made me even kind of like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't want to ruin something that I love. But regardless, if you think about this as the last in the series, and for this Let's Play I will, because I do think of this as the final perfect end note to the song of this series, the answer that it comes up with is that heroism is about restoring and restoration. It's about taking someone who's isolated and who doesn't want to be and bringing them back into a community. It's about taking a connection that was severed by violence and pain and, badness, and healing that wound and fixing those connections and restoring what was lost. So yes, you can be a thief and do those things. You don't have to be a paladin to do those things. So by coming here, we will heal this valley, we will heal the people in it, we will heal the deep, painful wounds, and that kind of ties into Irana's life's work, where she would go to places that she visited and she would create places of protection and restoration where violence was impossible, where those wounds couldn't be inflicted. Her staff protects the town from the undead. Her spell on Spielberg protects the townspeople from brigands. So in many ways, we're kind of following in Irana's footsteps, but also our work kind of complements hers. She would protect things before the wounds could even happen, but we go to places where wounds have happened in spite of protection and heal those wounds. So I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about that, obviously. When we pick up in the next video, we'll go get our fortune for the day, and then we will go out at night again. I was actually sort of hoping we'd meet Katrina again, but we didn't. But maybe we will tonight. Who knows? We'll get to find out. My name is Anna Mardal. This has been Quest for Glory 4, and I'm grateful that you're coming along with me. Thank you. Bye-bye.